Opera Theater of St. Louis is in its 43rd season today. We have the honor of talking to one of the opera's most celebrated stars, mezzo-soprano Jennifer Johnson Cano, who actually grew up in Festus and is the title role in Say the Opera for me, because I know I'm going to butcher it.
Okay, it's really easy. Orfeo and Eurydice.
It's a role that has you singing for almost the entire 2 hours.
Yes.
Is that crazy? I mean, I know that you train for that, but at the end of the night, are you like, okay, I don't want to talk to my husband, I don't want to say another word?
Well, it's a challenge, but opera singers, you know, we're a lot like athletes in that we train and we practice, and you do all of that so that when the time comes, you can sing for 2 hours and you plan it out and you know what's happening and you feed off the energy of the audience and the energy of your colleagues. And at the end of the night, you're on such an adrenaline high, it usually takes a couple of hours to come down from that. So it all works out in the end.
Is there anything weird that you have to do to make sure that your voice, you know, is at the top of its game?
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's really simple, which is I try to be fairly quiet. I avoid loud restaurants. I avoid really crowded places. And I drink a whole lot of water. You know, it sounds so simple, but just sort of being quiet and lots of hydration.
Now, a little girl in Festus, when did you fall in love with opera? Originally, when you found out you had this voice, did you think you wanted to be a pop singer, or it's always been opera?
No, I always liked making music, and I really didn't care what kind of music it was. My parents raised me going to the St. Louis Symphony and going to the Muni, but I didn't see my first opera until I was a teenager, and it was at Opera Theater of St. Louis through a training camp that they offer for high school singers interested in classical music. So I went and I got some of the very first vocal instruction that I ever received, and I also saw my first opera and I fell in love with it immediately.
So this is like full circle moment,
It
right?
is, it's coming home, and it's nice to, I met some of the singers from that same camp who came this year, and I got to see them and talk with them, and it was really wonderful.
Well, briefly tell me about this show.
Okay, so the story is based on the ancient Greek myth of Orfeo, and the opera begins with his wife actually dead. She's died. So it's about the premature death of a young person, and Orfeo, in his pleading with the gods, they grant him the opportunity to go back into the underworld and bring her back, with the caveat that he cannot look at her and he can't tell her why. So of course it develops a trust issue, miscommunication. He gives in, looks at her, and she dies again. And yet, because of his disobedience of this law and his love for her, the gods bring her back.
Awesome. Opera Theater of St. Louis presents its 2018 festival season now through Sunday. Jennifer has 2 performances left, this Thursday at 8 and Saturday at 1 at the Loretto Hilton Center for Performing Arts. You can grab tickets at experienceopera.org. We're coming right back.